it's just like, can we get it going already? You know, it's like a bit of a waiting game, I think, which is good for the body, good for the mind to a certain extent to recover, but you're chomping at the bit to get back out there and excited for the challenge that's ahead of us.
When you look at your last couple of starts, probably not quite as sharp as you would have liked them to be. Looking at video, have you identified anything? Are there any adjustments that you're making heading into tomorrow?
I mean, I think I'm just going to have to be on top of my game. I'm going to have to locate pitches in big spots. I think, some poor location, to some really good hitters got us in a bit of a hole early. So it's going to be a similar situation. They got a lot of good hitters, and, we're going to have to make pitches in those situations, in order to be successful. So, whether that's, making sure you nail the delivery or being in the right mindset to execute the pitch, that's what we've been working on this week and looking to bring it out tomorrow.
Who else? Eric in the back, middle.
Gerrit, you said last week, and you said it last year before Game 1 of the division series, that you particularly enjoy pitching this time of year. And I think your answer was the stakes. Somebody asked you what you liked about it. Can you delve into that a little bit more? What is it particularly about this time of year that really motivates you?
I think that because in order to get here, you have had to have played well as a group all year. And so, when you're starting off on this journey 8 months ago, the goal is to be able to have the opportunity to play these games. So, you put in hard work, you grind through the ups and downs of the season, and you keep pushing yourself, telling yourself that, the opportunity to play here is kind of the carrot at the end of the road. And so when you're here, it's just kind of a validation of all the stuff that you've put in and, all the challenges that you've had to overcome. And so, it's just not everybody gets to play in these games. So that's why I think that we all enjoy the opportunity to do that.
Gerrit, how's the hamstring?
Where are we? It's good.
You've had a kind of an up and down season. We talked to you a lot earlier in the year about the changes, the rules, or the enforcement of the rules. How have you looked at the course of your season and just the ups and downs of that and the changes that you've had to make throughout the season to deal with the new reality of what baseball's doing?
Just make the adjustment along the way and just I guess not think about it. Like it's just it is the landscape that we play in. So you just got to go out and execute pitches.
Randy, go ahead.
Gerrit, is the Yankees-Red Sox rivalry what you thought it would be before you came here? And is it extra special to you to be playing in this? It's the second time they've had a kind of a tiebreaker game. I don't know if you know the history of the rivalry at all. Does that mean anything to you?
Bucky Dent, right? Yeah. As a kid growing up, watching Pedro and Roger duke it out. Didn't quite catch Roger at the beginning when he was here, but Pettit against any Pettit against Pedro, Pettit against any big time Red Sox guy. It's just like what a fantastic game to watch, and you're dreaming about putting yourself in that position, and obviously coming through for your team. So, and here we are, and it's pretty much been, I think, what I've expected. The last year in COVID was a little different without the fans and being able to engage in the atmosphere, but Fenway's been rocking this whole year every single time we come, and the atmosphere is unbelievable, and we've been playing each other tight all year, so it's been what I've expected for sure. So
we have over here on the left. I don't know where the mic is. Oh, I'm sorry. Christy, go ahead.
I think the last start was the coldest one you've had this year, and this one probably will be as cold or colder. Is there anything you can take from that one and adjust to, considering that that makes the ball harder to grip?
I felt like it was colder in April, to be honest. But I mean, I have a few tricks up my sleeve. Like, you kind of keep your hand warm, obviously, like so you can, whether that's keeping it in a fist or making sure it's warm. And, we don't have the thing that the quarterbacks wear, but, you can keep your hand in your pockets during in between innings, things like that. And but otherwise, just every game presents like little challenges, whether it's weather, whether it's footing on the mound. There's always something different that happens every game. Not every game's the same, so you just adapt when those things come up. So that's not like it's not really a big deal.
Pete Abraham to the left.
Gerrit, is it true that you didn't talk much to the Red Sox players at the All-Star game, and is that just out of respect for the rivalry, or why was that?
Yeah, I don't recall having like a ton of conversations with them, kind of on opposite sides of the clubhouse. Certainly don't remember some of the exchanges that have been reported, but I was still kind of not feeling too hot that those couple of days there coming out of Houston. So wasn't maybe quite myself, but also maybe it wasn't quite what other people try to portray me like.
So it wasn't some intentional thing or anything like that?
Yeah, no, I would probably not say that it was an intentional thing. But
okay. And I guess on that topic, what are your thoughts on Nate Eovaldi? And you obviously you guys have seen him a few times this year.
So, I mean, Nate's got some magic, man. I mean, he's a high stakes performer. Obviously, it's why he got a contract and why they wanted to keep him around. I mean, it's an incredible postseason run that he made for them, and selflessly, pitching in it's huge spots. So, I mean, I respect anybody that does what I do and takes the ball every time and sells out for it. And it's pretty magnificent to watch him go out there and replicate like that kind of velocity and all those different pitches all the time. So I'm a fan of Nate, and he's well respected in our clubhouse as well. Obviously, having played for us and left an impact on quite a bit of guys the way he goes about his business. So, I don't know him personally, but what I've heard is a true professional, and I enjoy watching him pitch. So,
Brian Hope to the right.
Hey, Gerrit. Obviously, there's so much anticipation for this game. So what will tonight be like for you? Is tonight a night when you go over reports and watch video, or is it where you try to kind of pull back and clear your mind a little bit?
I think maybe a little bit of both. I've been looking at some stuff, just like my normal prep already. So, and then Amy gets in later, so we'll probably get a bite to eat and not really probably talk about certain sequences. Probably talk about Caden and what he was up to today. So, but obviously I'm here and I got to play catch. So those conversations will be work related, and then I'll go to dinner. So
Back to the left.
Gerrit, what was it like for you watching what Giancarlo did here last weekend with the series that he had?
Oh boy, that was exciting for one fan base, I guess, and one group of players. But it was pretty awesome. Just that guy is really special, really unique. Like, I haven't quite seen anything of it. I don't really believe the StatCast readings either, quite frankly. 451 or whatever on that one, that's a bit light. They might want to recalibrate that. But he's, he really wants to win. He prepares extremely hard. I've really enjoyed getting to know him over the last 2 years and love him as a teammate. So, from that perspective, I love watching my friends and teammates succeed, and so it was a blast for me personally, and it was obviously a pretty majestic moment in an important game, which always kind of intensifies the magic of it, I guess. So hopefully we can bring it out again tomorrow.
Lindsay, front right.
Gerrit, you faced the Red Sox a lot over the last few years, including 4 times this season. Does that familiarity, do you feel that that works to your advantage heading into a big game like this, or do you feel that you need to sort of prepare a different type of game plan since they just saw you like a week ago?
I still don't really have a good answer for. I get asked that question a lot, but I still don't really have a good answer for it, whether it's one way or the other. Like, I'm probably sure there's some statistic that says it probably favors the pitcher maybe, but I don't necessarily think that. I mean, it only takes like one guy out of those 9 to have a really good day, to really, kind of threaten the balance of the game. So you can have a great day against 7 of them or 8 of them, and so I mean, the familiarity probably has its advantages for me. It probably has its advantages for them, and probably in terms of overall advantage to each side, it's probably relatively balanced. So just got to go out and execute and play some good ball.
In the middle, Bob.
Gerrit, I'm following up on Brian's question before about how you're going to spend your evening. I'm curious what you're like on the day of the game, the hours leading up to the game in your clubhouse. Do you withdraw into a shell and kind of put up this, do not disturb vibe? Don't want to talk to anybody? Or are you vocal and do you kind of work the room and make your presence felt?
I'm not watching BP like Nestor, but I'm not in a turtle shell either. I did make that pun on purpose, but I kind of am in the middle. I feel like I was actually talking to Lindsay about this the other day. I feel like that I try to put myself kind of in the mode of how I want to go about pitching early, but not maybe as early as some other people, but certainly not the guy that can walk out of the bullpen and just say, like, I'm going to flip this switch and slide into my game mentality. So, but that also doesn't constitute being like a not pleasant person to be around. Now, there are some people that have to do that, and that's okay. But that's not. I'm not like, don't bother me with like dumb stuff, but like I'm not going to snap at you either. So, but don't bother me with dumb stuff. So I think that's kind of like what's understood. But I try to settle into that frame of mind, give myself some time to tune it up or tune it down if I feel like I need to.
Take a last one, Brendan Cuddy. We have Aaron Boone waiting.
Gerrit, there's a possibility that J.D. Martinez won't play tomorrow for them, an ankle issue. What makes him so difficult to face? And, that.
Well, JD's a pretty big time slugger, with and seems like a pretty resilient individual based on, the career path to be able to get to being a big time slugger in a big time market, right? Like, it's very well documented, his hard work and his evolution into the player that he's become today. So, along with the, incredible talent that he has to, impact a baseball, like, some of those intangibles I think are, just as important. So, it makes him a tough tough at bat. I mean, he's got some magic and he's got a lot of talent, and so in situations like that, I think you just got to try to stay vigilant and just execute the pitches to the best of your ability. Because I feel like inevitably in this game you run into people that are going to put good swings on good pitches sometimes, and so but in the end you can't control how good of a swing they take. You can only control how good of a pitch you make. So that's the focus when you face really impactful hitters like that. So.